Okay, so we are back from the gym. I have showered, I've gotten cleaned up. A few things that I do for myself, like on days like this, is try to like give myself a little bit more time and a little bit more grace. Because when I'm on the go at work, especially if I have overtime or I worked overtime the day before, I'm gonna be so exhausted. I feel like I literally won't do much of anything besides rest, eat, shower, and repeat. Okay, so if you're watching this and you are stuck in that cycle, please, 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 please try to remember to give yourself some grace and to just simply love on yourself and take care of yourself. Because if you love this job in law enforcement as much as I love this job in law enforcement, you really want to go and be there for the long run. So that means that you have to take care of yourself, like both mental and physical. So that's why I still hit the gym. I hit the gym, I want to say, for the most part of the week, especially if I didn't work overtime. I'm going to make it to the gym at least 6 days out of the 7 days a week. So, and I do that with the sole intent of maintaining and improving when my body lets me. Because sometimes, even if I didn't work a full week of like of overtime or just a really busy week, if my body is telling me like calm down, not today, like I've just learned to listen to my body. Like I'm not gonna overexhaust myself because it's just not worth it, and it's not gonna bring anything good out of it. Like obviously there's days that I'm just being lazy and there's a clear difference. And on those days, I'm gonna tend to just love on myself a little bit more, make sure I go get some coffee, make sure that just I'm handling things as I should. I don't know. I feel like I'm not in my early 20s. I am in my early 30s. I just turned 32. For those that you for those of you that wanted to know, I'm 32 years old, and I feel like I started at the perfect age. I entered the police academy when I was 30 years old. The police academy in the police academy that I am in was 10 months long. So when I tell you guys to lock in, I am telling you from experience. So if that is you, lock in. So a lot of people ask me about the police academy. I feel like that is a hot topic right now. People want to know how I got in, how it looks like, kind of just the kind of just the fear of the unknown. Like you want to know everything before joining, but honestly, just join, because I can tell you everything that I had to do for mine, and yours can look completely different. I mean, obviously the paperwork, the background check, all that stuff might look similar, but still, like you just have to go for it. Like I feel like if God planted that seed in you, it's for a reason. So learn to listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, and at the end of the day, if you start the police academy and something is pulling you away, something, and not every voice in your head is God pulling you, telling you to get out of it. But if you feel like right now it's not the time, like everything is like, I feel like there's gonna be a clear difference that like sometimes the devil wants to get you and the devil doesn't want you to complete your dreams and goals. Don't listen to that voice. And how do you know the difference? Ultimately, it's just on you. Like praying about it, doing all the things that you need to be doing, knowing that that's something that you really want. If you're just doing it for all the wrong reasons, like money or getting the title and stuff like that, you're not gonna last and you're not gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna make bad decisions when you're out in the street, which is really dangerous, and it can cost you, yourself, people around you, your partner, or an innocent person their life, and that's not fair. So if you don't care about it that much, that's a clear indicator that it's not for you. So don't waste your time, don't waste your agency's time, and your and just people around you, because you will be surprised how much people will pour into you. Like I know, I feel like I had a lot of like issues, or I bumped heads a lot with like my primary FTO, but I kid you not, like I have been grateful. Like I just didn't tell her that so much because I don't want to blow up her head. But I have been so grateful to her literally ever since I returned to her, because I feel like one, she set a foundation for me, and then two, like the way that she made sure that I knew my stuff regardless if I liked her or not, regardless if we had beef, regardless if what he said, she said, like, she still followed through with her job, and she still made sure that I knew what I had to know to be safe out in the street. So for that, I am super grateful. For the most part, a lot of people want to help you, so you just have to be very accepting of that. But that's why I also tell you to not waste people's time, because it is not fair. There's somebody out there that really wants to do the right thing and save lives and make this their life career, and if you're taking that spot, shame on you. This is not a joke. This is like real world. This is the real world. So just something to think about. Obviously, sometimes like you just didn't know. Like, you just didn't know. So I will give you some grace. Right now I'm going to do my makeup. If you want to know any of the products that I'm using during this video, I will list them down below. I have said that in the past and I have forgotten, but this time I will not forget. Okay. I literally love having the time to do my makeup, because so many times I have not had time and I kind of just do it super fast. Okay, so let's move forward a little bit. So let's say that you have made up your mind and you place the application, and now you're kind of like, what do I do? Well, first off, you're going to want to place more than one application, because unless you're going to ride or die for that one department, and if it's not that department, it's no department, then I understand. Some people are like that. But I will tell you, there's a lot of great departments out there that you would just not know about it. Like, I literally applied to one department initially, and then as I worked through the process and made it towards the end, I was hit with news that randomly, like right now was not a good time, that everything went through. I had the best file because I had been with that department for 6.5 years. But out of the blue, something came up and like they froze applications, yada, yada, yada. That was a heartbreak. And then I started venturing out and kind of like started looking, like honestly looking at departments, like from besides just their pay, I was looking at what they had to offer, how big the agency was, how many calls they typically had to respond to, your growth rate in that department, just because you can go into some departments and not really grow because they're just a smaller agency. Okay. A few things that I would say to look for is, so if you're somebody that you want to grow in a department and you already have like a dream in place, like you want to be a detective, you want to be in narcotics, you want to work in a school, you want to make sure that you make sure that you make those questions and you ask whenever you're meeting with the recruit, like, hey, what does the growth within a department look like? And I want to say that mostly everybody will tell you the truth. I mean, obviously some people kind of just want to get some people to apply, but please do not fall for an agency that's not going to be truthful to you, because the same way that you're expected to be truthful, you want these departments to be truthful with you, because you're about to give them the best of you. You're literally going to be putting your life out there. And an agency that's going to keep things from you from the very get-go is already going to be a big red flag for you. So be very careful of that. Also, make sure that you do pay attention to the pay scale. I know. Obviously, if this is your dream, you don't want to care about the pay. You just want to get the job. But also, pay does matter. You still have to feed yourself. If you have a family, you have to make sure that your family is a-okay. And obviously, law enforcement is a very rewarding job, so make sure that you choose something that is gonna work with you. I did have an agency trying to get me, and I felt like they were trying very hard to get me, and I feel so bad, because they were honestly amazing. But the only thing that was a down for me, that made them not appealing at all, was their pay. Because I would have to take like a $20,000 to $25,000 $1,000 cut from my pay that I was already receiving in dispatch. So why would I have taken them into consideration? Like, I might have loved their department and everything, but ultimately I still have to be realistic. And I did not want to use them in the sense of, well, let me at least get in and become an officer and then lateral move, because most agencies will require a minimum of 5 years to be considered a lateral. So I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to wait no more 5 years. I wanted to go in all the way or not go in at all. So that's when I decided to go in for the big agency that I applied into. Obviously, there was some fears like, am I going to be good enough? Am I like army strong? Because I do not have one military bone in me. So that was like, am I enough? Because I did not want to waste my department's trust and then just mess up, like not be sufficient for them. So once you've picked out a few different agencies and you're applying to them, make sure that during this time you begin to build all the good habits in the world, from sleeping schedules to the things that you do on your spare time. Make sure working out has to already be like a part of your everyday life. When somebody in law enforcement tells me that they don't work out whatsoever, like, that is not realistic, and that is not, it's just not good for you. I will never stand by that. I do believe that you reach an area in life where you can make adjustments to maybe possibly working out less, but you have to remember that your life is gonna be in your own hands. Sure, there's cover that always arrives. Sure, there's all these other cool things and gadgets that you carry, but ultimately, if you can't reach for them, if you can't react fast enough to ask for that cover and all those things, like, you're doing yourself such a disservice. And it makes me so angry, because it is your life in your own hands, if not your partner's. And it's not fair. It is not fair if you're out of shape and people have to pull weight for you. Like, how selfish do you have to be? Like, there's just absolutely no way I would ever stand by somebody that says, I do not work out and I'm in law enforcement. That is not even something to be proud of, or something I would even want to voice out loud. I'll be like, shh, shh, shh. Like, let's cut that conversation short. How about that? In addition to that, you want to make sure that you're finding ways of taking care of yourself. And again, everything I'm saying to you is going to apply to emotional and physical, because you're gonna have rough days. Let's be completely honest. You're gonna have days where you start questioning your career choices, where you start questioning if you're in the right place, if you should be doing what you're doing. You're gonna have days where one call is actually gonna get you. And I mean, you could be the most toughest person ever, and you could see, expired bodies and not have an issue. You can be super forward strong, but then you come across one case. I don't know, it could be like a dog call. It could be anything, to be honest with you. And that'll be the one call that trips you out the most, and you were not prepared, and all these things. Mind you, you will never be fully prepared for something that was just gonna affect you mentally. So, with that being said, that should be more of an encouragement for you to find things that bring you joy, things that, if certain things stress you out, you know how to work through them. Also, I'm gonna encourage you guys to start reading out loud, because in class you will have to read out loud, or at least we have to. And as a police officer, you talk to so many people face to face. So since you're gonna be talking to so many people face to face, reading out loud just helps you. Okay. Okay, a few minutes later, I have finished my makeup. I just keep my hair up. I keep my bangs out. This is not how I go to work. Let me leave that very clear. First off, girls, if you're watching this and you think having bangs out is cute and all that stuff, yes, it is, but it's such a safety issue. Do not go to work with your bangs out. And if you do, for the love of God, whatever you do, turn this into a bun. I still have several hours before I have to go to work. So this is me just trying to be cute at home with my husband and my kids. And even that, if I'm cooking, this is all in my way. The same way it will be in the way if I was to go to work like this. I don't want to go show up to a call and like this, or we have to get into a physical altercation situation and somebody's got me by the hair like this. No, let's not do that. I'm not condoning that. This is just for me to be at home with my family and to be cozy. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the academy itself. Okay, so let's say you start the academy and you're like, how am I gonna like survive the academy? And honestly, it is not super easy, but if you stay consistent, you actually put a lot of work in, like studying, reviewing your notes. Even if you don't have a test the following day, you have to study because you don't know if they're gonna do like a surprise test where they drop you guys on the ground if nobody answers correctly. And just simply the fact of being educated, you don't want to fall behind, because if you think that one test is hard, imagine how the following test will be. Just prepare. Second, make sure you're eating clean and you're eating healthy. Make sure you're focusing on muscle gain as well as speed, that you're running, that you're maintaining. It is not just, oh, I made it in, that is that. No. Like personally, my academy, like they had tests every so many months, physical tests besides having weekly educational mental tests. So I encourage you guys to keep up the physical aspect, because it is something to fall back easily, especially if you're constantly studying. So long story short, your life will turn into revolving around the academy. So that's why, like pre-academy, I encourage you guys to find things that help you take care of you, because once you're in the academy, yes, you will have time for family and friends, but not like before. You have to lock in so hard that you have to push yourself once every 2-3 weeks to spend time with family and friends. And that is going to be like limited into a very safe environment, because you don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize your time in the academy. Anything like getting in a domestic altercation to anything that's going to land you in jail, or a like any kind of charge. You don't want to try to get any tickets. You don't be at the wrong place, the wrong time. You just don't want to happen to go down with your friends, because if they say they're not going to accept that, they're not going to accept that, and they're going to let you go. And all your hard work will happen for nothing. So be very mindful of that. A lot of people don't think about that until it is too late. A lot of places don't accept DWIs. So for another reason, don't be out drinking and driving. If you're gonna go out, man, honestly, just catch an Uber. And if you don't have money for that, don't go. Just don't go. Don't rely on other people, because too many times I've been out and about, and when I look over, that person's chugging down like 2 or 3 shots. So don't get caught up with that. In addition to that, just drink at home. And honestly, to be fair, you shouldn't be drinking at all, because during this time, as much as you want to party and you want to celebrate each test, like you're having weekly tests. So are you gonna go get wasted every single time? And if you're already having those hard alcohol habits, like how is your life gonna look like 2 years down the road, when you're actually in the field having hard calls, when you're actually missing sleep and you're only getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep? Like a lot of people don't think about that, and I've seen it time and time where people get so caught up in the bad habits that later on it leads them to worse things. And then it's you can't come back from things like that, but the road back, it's gonna be lengthy. So just be cautious of that. I don't know. find a sport that you enjoy, find a team that you like to play with, or simply just enjoy time with your loved ones. It doesn't have to be that you're out. Just do things that are healthy for you, healthy for your heart, healthy for your soul, and so on. So like me, when I have some time, I just like to read. I like to, I get to do homework. I love to vlog. I like to work on content for my Instagram, for my TikTok, and stuff like that, and reach out to people that are on the same boat and looking into doing things that I have started or currently doing. So with that being said, if you have any questions or want to know anything else in that area, please let me know down below. It is hard to keep up with my comments on TikTok, but if you try to reach out either through Instagram or try to leave me a comment on YouTube, I do respond to those a lot better because I do get a lot less than all the amount I get on TikTok. But please do let me know if there's something that you want me to cover or just have questions about something. So yeah, that's gonna conclude my video. I'm gonna go spend some time with my family and try to do some homework because your girl is working on her MBA. All right, guys, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and everybody be safe out there. Love you.